Mr. President, yesterday you met 5 CARICOM leaders. Do you see a role for CARICOM, given Guyana's current political impasse?
CARICOM played a very important role. Not only is the headquarters of CARICOM in Guyana, and Guyana, of course, is a founding member of CARICOM, but the 5 prime ministers, Barbados, Dominica, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, came to Guyana, and they were earnest. They were committed to working with Guyana and the stakeholders in Georgetown and the rest of the country to craft a path forward out of the present situation. And they were non-intrusive. They engaged the government, of course, and the parties in the governing coalition. They engaged the leader of the opposition. They engaged the observer missions and other stakeholders. In fact, at night, you may not know this, but we had meetings up to 1:30 in the morning of Thursday morning. So they were fully engaged. They worked very hard and aimed at getting a solution to the present situation. I would say it was successful. I was very happy with the outcome. And in general terms, we met with former President Jagdeo, and we agreed that on Thursday, the two sides, the government side and the opposition side of the Elections Commission, would meet and work out some way of implementing fully the ruling of Chief Justice Roxanne George. I think that was the high point of the CARICOM engagement, that the two sides, opposition leader Bar Jagdeo and President David Granger, arrived at an agreement that the process should remain in the Elections Commission. The Elections Commission should meet and decide how it would implement the Chief Justice's ruling. I think that was the main achievement. And in that regard, I would say that the engagement of the 5 prime ministers was a successful one. It was a necessary one. And it ought to have given the Guyanese population a good feeling about, not only about the region, but also about the process.
Sir, you said that you would describe it as the meeting as successful, and the fact that you made an agreement with the opposition leader. But did that translate, that meeting actually happen today? Are you aware?
On my part, I did give an encouragement to the persons who were appointed by the government to seek a meeting. I understand that a similar engagement or a similar request was made by the nominees of the opposition side. Again, my understanding was that a meeting did take place, and the process that was prescribed by the Chief Justice did commence. I know at some stage or other it was suspended, but I feel that coming out of the CARICOM heads of government proposals, the meeting did take place, and I think that is the way to go. It is essential that we do not interfere with the role of the Elections Commission, and as far as I know, up to the middle of Thursday, this is exactly what happened.
Having met with the 5 CARICOM leaders, sir, and given your agreement with the opposition leader, what would you say is the way forward now?
The way forward is to ensure that the process remains where it belongs, in the Elections Commission. And I was happy that the leader of the opposition agreed to that. On my side, we agreed to that. And we should await the outcome of that process and do not interfere, do not intrude in that process. That's important. The Election Commission is long established. It has rules and procedures, and we have to allow the Election Commission to do what it is appointed to do.
Sir, what would you say to citizens given this tense period in our history? What would you say?
I would say exactly what the 5 heads of government of CARICOM said. Let the Election Commission do its work. let us not resort to violent action. Let us not resort to protests and demonstrations. We've had too much of that. Last week, somebody got killed. School buses were stoned. Children were injured. Policemen were chased through the streets. And this is not the atmosphere for arriving at a solution that satisfies the Guyanese people. It could lead to provocation, could lead to retaliation. I would say that all Guyanese need to observe the role of the Elections Commission. Let the Elections Commission do its work. The chairman was appointed after consultation. The members were appointed by the opposition and government side. And I am very confident that if the commission is allowed to do its work, we will come to an end of this process, which started at least on the 2nd of March. And now it's just going on too long. We need to bring an end to it, and we need to have a lawful end. The Chief Justice has ruled. The Election Commission has a role to play. The Constitution is clear. And I have given the CARICOM heads of government the commitment that I'll abide by the Constitution, I'll abide by the declaration of the Elections Commission, and I'll abide by the ruling of the Supreme Court of Guyana.